Today we're looking at the Centerdrive by Gerber. Stay tuned. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to go over the Centerdrive by Gerber. It's their newest multi-tool. I believe it came out late last year, October, November-ish, something like that. And it's a pretty big step up from some of their previous multi-tools. It is made in the USA by Gerber. I believe it's made in their Oregon facility. Comes a couple of ways. You can buy just the tool that comes with the sheath, or you can get it with the bit kit for a few dollars more. So there was going to be a couple. I've seen a couple of videos on these, just a straight up, look at the tool, and then I've seen comparisons. Most of the comparisons I've seen have been with Leatherman's, and I'm not going to do that today for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, most people I have found that like Leatherman's, and I like Leatherman's, but a lot of people I find, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people out there are just Leatherman all the way, all the time. There's nothing that compares. So, those people, you can show them a great tool by another company and they're just not going to have it. So that would be a waste of my time and effort, I think. And then the other group of people is, they see that name right there, that name and that logo, and they just say, well, it's junk. It's made by Gerber. And there was a time, probably a decade or so, where, yeah, it's true, Gerber wasn't making great stuff. They still made a few stuff in the United States, but they started to come out with a lot of budget items out of China, and that turned a lot of people off. I also believe they had some issues with their customer service, that it wasn't as good as it used to be. But I think Gerber's turned the corner. The Bear Grylls era of Gerber really hurt them. I think the LMF2 started to change some people's mind, and then the strong arm came out, and I don't think you'll find anyone that has anything bad to say about the strong arm knife. And I think this is in the same mold of the strong arm. This is a real step up from anything they've been doing recently or in the past. So let's get right to it. This has the usual slide up pliers with a wire cutter. This wire cutter is a piece of carbide. There's two of them. They are removable. You can, when one side wears out, you can rotate it to the next side, and then, like I said, then being removable, you can order new ones from Gerber. When you wore out all three sides of the cutters. And it's this one's brand new, so it's a little tight, but it's one hand open, one hand closed. The tools. So this doesn't have a ton of tools as other ones do. This is a pretty neat feature. So this is a pry bar, nail puller, and this hook here also works as a bottle opener. And it's pretty beefy construction. It's not cast, it's forged steel. It's got some webbing to it to make it stronger, a little more durable. You also have, I'm guessing what would be considered an awl. It's extremely sharp. A file. It's got cut tooth on both sides. One's finer, one's a little more coarse. And then you do get a, I don't know if it's a saw, it's a serrated blade. I don't know if I'd consider that a saw. But that is all of the tools on the interior. Everything else, there's nothing on the, well, yeah, there's one thing, an additional bit holder here, so you can hold a spare bit. But there are no other tools on the other side. To close the tools once they're open all the way, you've got this little release. Pull it down, close them up. Now, this is plastic. I don't like that, but that is what it is. That's the lock. Let's close these up. The blade, I like the blade a lot. It's a pretty substantial blade. It's about almost a 3-inch blade, no serrations, 100% fine edge. It's on the exterior, similar to a Leatherman. One hand opening. And it's got this big cutout there for the thumb. So one hand opening. And I think the big selling feature, the big feature they want to push on this item is the screwdriver. So you don't have a little stubby screwdriver hanging off one edge, it's kind of off center. We call this a center drive because the tool, the screwdriver, is centerline with the handle. So it does feel more like, when you're using it, it feels more like an actual screwdriver. Again, all steel construction. It's not cast, it's steel. And they've got some reliefs cut in it, like probably just for weight. The bits hold in by a magnet, a really, really, really strong magnet. And they take standard bits. There's no proprietary bits like you find with Leathermans. Now I know when you get if you buy a bit extension with the Leatherman, then the extension accepts standard bits, but just the bit driver that comes with Leatherman, you have to buy the special Leatherman bits. So the tool comes with, I believe that's a number 2 Phillips, and then liner lock, and then as I showed, it comes with one really tight in there so it's not going to fall out, one flat blade bit, and that just sits in this little keeper that folds in. When you get the bit kit, or if you buy the Leatherman or you buy the Gerber with the bit kit, you get 2 more Phillips, 2 squares, 2 small Torx bits, 3 more flat blades, and then 3 Allen bits. I'm not sure if the bits are marked. Let me take a look here. Okay, so the bits are not marked with the size on them. Maybe I'll do some digging and get the list of what sizes they are. I don't know if the Torx bits are listed as size either, whether they be a T. Okay, so these are. So a T15, and I'm guessing, was that a T10? Yes, a T10. And the square drives probably aren't, well, the square drives aren't. An S2, and I'm guessing this is going to be an S1. Yes. So it's weird those are marked, but these Allens aren't. I'm really surprised. Maybe they're just hard to see. No, I don't see. Oh, wait, there we go. Oh yeah, okay, so 5/30 seconds. Let's start with the smallest here. I'm sorry, they are marked. It's just a little hard to read. Okay, 9/64, 5/30 seconds. And 3/16. So those are the 3 Allen sizes, and then I'm guessing you get a 1, 2, and 3 Phillips, and then 3 flat blade sizes. The sheath is pretty much your standard Gerber sheath. You can use this as a belt loop, or it does have the MOLLE strap, so you can strap this to a pack, to a vest, whatever. And I don't know what you get when you buy if you get it without the bit kit, but the sheath, I'm guessing you get the same sheath no matter what, but it has 2 pockets. One for the tool, and then one for the bits. Now that does make this package pretty bulky. That's probably almost, yeah, that's about 2 inches on the money when you include the flap there. So, and it's pretty weighty. I carried this on my hip for off and on for a little over a month. It is, like I said, it is heavy. Interestingly, I see some comments actually just on some of their ads on Facebook, and everyone complains that it doesn't have a pocket clip. It doesn't have a pocket clip. I'm not buying it because it doesn't have a pocket clip. This thing's pretty heavy and pretty bulky. I mean, this is a full-size multi-tool, probably one of the biggest you'll find out there. I can't imagine carrying this around comfortably in my pocket for hours on end, day after day. It's just really heavy. So I said I wasn't going to compare it with Leatherman's or a SOG, but what I will compare it to is something that most of us are familiar with, the M&P series. So it's got the same pliers. See right there? This one's a little heftier, but they're the same pliers, the same setup. With these, you have to push both buttons down to retrieve it, or to retract it, excuse me. The center drive is just one thumb. Same thing, you get these plastic locks, which I'm not a big fan of, but they work. But there's one on each side on the MPs, because you have tools on both sides. Where on the center drive, it's just one, because you only have tools in here other than that extra little bit holder. Let's get to the screwdriver. So here's kind of what the idea is on the screwdriver and why they went this route. So I don't know how many of you have actually used these things, there we go, a screwdriver on a multi-tool, but it is a bit of a pain. You're on here, and a screwdriver you can just kind of spin. It's a little awkward with being off center. And that's kind of been my complaint with most multi-tools. I'm a mechanic, so I use tools all the time, and I would, even if I had one of these in my pocket, I would typically go to the toolbox and get a screwdriver, just because it's a little more effort and a little awkward for me anyways to use a screwdriver in one of these type of multi-tools, whether it be this Leatherman, SOG, or this one. I mean, this is truly on the center. It rotates on the axis. It doesn't feel exactly like a screwdriver, but it definitely comes much closer than others. Who is this for? I mean, this isn't an outdoor. I mean, you could take it camping, absolutely. It doesn't have some of the other features. I think other multi-tools, and even some of the other Gerbers have. I think they have a better saw on them. I think this one has and that's about the same. I guess that's not more, but can opener. And I don't think there's a can opener on the center drive. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that's definitely a bottle opener, and that's not going to open cans, I don't think. File, all. Yeah, doesn't appear to be a can opener on the center drive, but that's neither here nor there. But I think this is a real good option for, like I said, me being a mechanic, having this on my hip. Obviously the pliers always come in useful, but having a decent usable screwdriver, and then actually having some other bits on your hip. And if you're, as a mechanic, maybe I wouldn't use all of these screwdrivers. Maybe I wouldn't use the hexes or the squares. I could trade the squares out for bigger Torx bits or bigger Allen bits, because it does take standard bits. You know, if you have, you know, a large assortment of drive bits, you know, you can swap these out with what you would use most. So you can kind of customize how you're going to use the tool, and you're not just, you know, hindered by just having one flat blade screwdriver and one Phillips screwdriver, as you would on something, say, like that. So, you know, I've used it here, there, a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, used the pliers, I've used the wire cutters. I've seen some reviews where people say the wire cutters are brittle and crack and chip. I haven't had that problem personally, not yet anyways. The screwdriver is great. I love the little pry bar. It's I never thought I'd use a pry bar much until suddenly I started having one with me all the time. And I use that little thing a lot. I'm pretty impressed. You know, I like having just the one-handed operation. I don't know if as this wears in, you can flip it open, like once the old M&Ps wear in, you can flip them right out. I don't know. We'll see. But that's just my 2 cents. Prices, I've seen these things go everywhere. I think at most advertising, you see the tool with the bit kit and obviously the sheath for around $100. I picked this one up, like I said, a month and a half, 2 months ago. It was right after Christmas. And this thing was marked down to $77. At that point, I couldn't say no. So, you know, you can find them. You can find good deals on them. So that's what I have for you for the Gerber Centerdrive. It's a good multi-tool. Is it for everyone? No. The features that I like is the new design screwdriver being on the center axis. I like that a lot. I like the large blade that you can access without opening the tool. That's definitely a step up for Gerber. And I've always liked the Gerber pliers. The one-hand opening, the Gerber pliers, I think they work really well. So, as I use this, if any issues were to come up, I will definitely make a follow-up video if something were to break or wear out prematurely or anything like that. So, this is PA Outdoors. Please like, comment, share the video. I would ask you to subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. And, man, it's beautiful outside. Get outdoors and enjoy it. But remember, be safe out there. Thanks for watching.